Hello everyone, Kim Snyder here of the API Guys. Just want to give you a quick tip. One of the questions that we get a lot about our advanced merge field notation is because advanced merge field notation is really the secret sauce that makes Pocket Developer able to do amazing things without knowing any code whatsoever. But our advanced merge field notation allows you to work with fields that you can't normally work with. So for example, it allows you to work with appointments, tasks, affiliates, referrers, referrals, opportunities, companies, orders, invoices, payments. I'm missing, basically any table that's available to the API is available to you as a merge field in our plugins and email now within Campaign Builder. And because those are tables that you are probably not used to working with, because with the beauty of Pocket Developer is that you get the power of the API without having to know any code. But you've probably never worked with those tables because they're not available to you as a merge field. So you're not familiar with the table names or where to find those, or the field names rather, that are available within different records. And so people often will ask me, so how do I find those? And how do I know where they are and what's available to me? So I just wanted to cover that very quickly. This is our advanced merge field notation quick start guide that you can find in our Learning Center under PDEV documentation. And one of the frequently asked questions actually answers this, but I want to answer it specifically in this tutorial. Infusionsoft has a complete reference of all of their tables and fields. Now, I don't want this to scare you because it is in fact in the Developer Center. As I said, in order to use our Pocket Developer plugins, no code knowledge is required. However, if you would like to know what all the different tables and fields are that are available to you and their field names, this is in fact the fastest way to get to that list. I will concede it is, I guess, documented with the programmer in mind, but it's pretty straightforward. So what you may or may not, if you've never programmed, what you may or may not know is that, in fact, Infusionsoft is basically a front end for a database, as are all programs in this day and age, really, most of them anyway. So it's a database, and so databases, because there's so much information, they have to be organized, and they're organized in a structure called tables and fields. So if you just look at the table that you are most familiar with is the contact table. So anything related to a contact is held in a table called contact, and each one of these fields will be fields that you are familiar with, such as, address 1, anniversary, assistant name, birthday, company ID, contact notes, email address 2, email address 3, etc. Job title, last name, first name, middle name, nickname. These are all in the user interface, so you're familiar with them. However, what you might not be as familiar with is how many of them there are that you actually don't even see usually, but also what their database name is. And you need to know these database names because they aren't available. A lot of these are not available in the merge drop down, which is how you're used to getting to them, and therefore you have to look them up. And this is where you look them up. So here's the contact table. Here's another one that will probably be very familiar to you, which is the company table. Okay, same thing. Now, when we start to venture beyond the contact and company table, so let's just take a look at, then it can start to become a little bit more interesting because, in fact, Infusionsoft, like many people, don't name their things in the background necessarily in a way that makes sense to a user, although they have these descriptions, so you can, in fact, figure out what's what. So here's affiliates, okay? Credit card charges, campaign, which actually that has to do with the old legacy campaigns, unfortunately. Contact action, this is a useful one, very useful. This is where task notes and appointments are within Infusionsoft. Then here's some of the things that are very unfamiliar or unusual. As they say in the Ice Age, tags were referred to as groups. So contact group is talking about, these are all the tags that you've created. Contact group assign is where the tags that you've assigned, although those are also in contact. Here's your tag categories. Here are credit cards, your file box, invoice, the items on an invoice, the payments on an invoice. Now this is another one of those naming things. Back in the day they called orders jobs. Now in our advanced merge field notation, just so that you know, we actually have created aliases for this. So you can use job if you want, but you can also use order in our advanced merge field notation and it will work. Here's another one, similar, lead. This is what they call opportunities. We have another alias for that. You can use either lead or opportunity when referring to. So let's just take a look at here. We'll look at invoice or job. Let's look at job. So this is an order. Okay, so this tells you exactly, here's the contact ID. So this, the date created, the due date, order type, product ID, shipping address, etc. Right? Here's an opportunity. Here's the ID. That's the affiliate ID, contact ID, when it was created, estimated close date, the opportunity ID, right? Next action date, next action notes, objection, opportunity notes, opportunity title, revenue high, revenue low, stage ID. This is how you can, by the way, change the stage, etc. So these should, you know, again, once you start, it's maybe a little intimidating at first, but once you start looking at these, you realize like, oh, I know what these are. They're just organized in a different way with names which are, you know, machine friendly rather than human friendly. But a lead is an opportunity, and I see those all the time. Let's look at another one. We'll look at product. So here are your products. We've got description. We've got an ID, right? We've got a product name or product price, whether it's shippable or not, status, taxable, etc. Can pull all those. A referral, okay, these are important. Stages. So anyway, you kind of get the idea, right? So the way that the short answer to how do you find all these things and their proper names for the database in the advanced merge field notation is just go here, which is at developer.infusionsoft.com. The links are all over our documentation as well. Developer.infusionsoft.com. Click on table documentation and just go explore. Because one of the things you might get really excited about is now that you don't need to know code to get to all these things, how much is really now available to you to be used within Campaign Builder and your emails, thanks to Pocket Developer. So I hope that helped answer your question. As always, if you have any questions for me, if I can help you in any way, you need to figure out how to do something or how to do it with Pocket Developer or which Pocket Developer plugin will do it, whether you can do it, just about any question at all, because this is my favorite topic and I love to talk about it. Feel free to contact me. My email address is kim@theapiguys.com, or hit me up on any of the number of Facebook groups that I'm in, and I would love to chat with you or help you out in any way that I can. So hopefully that helped you guys, and we'll talk again real soon.